Good morning dear students, welcome back to Political Science online class. In our last session, we have discussed about the nation building, the components and its various hindrances and the responses. In today's session, let me discuss about the challenges to Indian democracy. Challenges to Indian democracy. See here, in this chapter, we are going to study the 5 important challenges to Indian democracy. Those are the inequality, illiteracy, communalism, terrorism and corruption. In today's session, we will discuss about the inequality has a challenge to Indian democracy. See, inequality has a challenge to Indian democracy. In this class, mainly we are going to concentrate on the 2 important inequalities which is prevailed in India, that is the caste based inequality and the gender based inequality. Before starting the concept, we must know what is inequality. See dear students, inequality means the denying opportunity and privileges to some sections of the people in the society. See, denying opportunity and privileges to some sections of the people in the society, or discrimination shall be made on the basis of caste, class, creed, sex, place of birth, religion, language, etc. Discrimination made on the basis of caste, class, creed, sex, place of birth, etc. So, any form of discrimination which is practiced in the society is called as the inequality. See dear students, mainly in India, among all this discrimination, caste based inequality and the gender based inequality are playing a very important role. So, that is why we have to study. So, what is the meaning of caste based inequality and what is the meaning of gender based inequality? At first, we will discuss about the caste based inequality. What is the meaning of caste based inequality? See, caste based inequality means, or before studying about the inequality, we must know what is the meaning of caste. See, the caste is a social status decided on the basis of birth. Caste is a social status decided on the basis of birth. Caste discrimination is the discrimination, it is made on the basis of birth. That is, the prestigious position is given to the upper caste and the lower state is provided to the lower caste. See, upper caste and the lower caste. The upper caste people are getting all the privileges and opportunities in the society, and the lower caste people are denied from all this status and opportunities. So, this is the reason for the caste based inequality in India. See, caste based inequality is one of the major problem in Hindu society. Let me discuss some of the causes for the caste based inequality in India. See, I have written here the causes for caste based inequality in India. The one important cause is that the Varnashrama system. Varnashrama system. Hindu society followed by a Varnashrama system. Varnashrama system means society divided into 4 Varnas. Society divided into 4 Varnas. They are Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. See, society divided into 4 Varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Brahmins are considered as the upper caste and the Shudras are considered as the lower caste. See, upper caste people are getting all the privileges in the society and the lower caste people are denied from the opportunities. This caste system is prevailed in India with the laws of Manu, and also this hierarchical caste system is compared to a human body. hierarchical caste system is compared to the human body. For example, see, the Brahmins are considered as a mind, and this Kshatriyas are considered as the arms, and these Vaishyas are considered as the legs, and the Shudras are considered as the feet. See, here this scheduled caste and scheduled tribe are outside this caste hierarchy. Scheduled caste and scheduled tribe are outside this caste hierarchy. So, dear students, the practice of Varnashrama system is one of the cause for the caste system in India. And another important cause is that social distance. Social distance. In this pandemic period, now also we are following this social distance, but it is for the health reasons. But this social distance is entirely different from that. See, the social distance means here caste is a closed society. Caste is a closed society. The strong caste bias are there in the people. Here the upper caste rituals, upper caste practices and upper caste food habits are entirely different from the lower caste culture, lower caste practices and the food habits. So, here caste is the very closed society. So, there is a social distance is followed in Hindu society. This is also another reason for the caste discrimination in India. Another one, illiteracy and conservatism. The more number of the people who are living in the villages are illiterate and they are conservative. This illiterate and the conservative people are very orthodox in nature and they are not allowing any change in their society. They are not allow any change in their society. Okay. Another cause for the caste based inequality is that the sense of prestige. Sense of prestige. That means the birth in a upper caste family gives a prestigious position to the people, and also the birth in the lower caste is denied the status of the people. So, here the birth in upper caste and the lower caste also explains the prestige or the status of the people. So, that is why the sense of prestige is also one of the cause for caste discrimination. And next, marriage restrictions. There are marriage restrictions also there in the Hindu society, and only endogamous marriages are permitted and the intercaste marriages are strictly prohibited. Intercaste marriages are strictly prohibited. So, dear students, these are all the causes for the caste based inequality in India. If this caste based inequality is followed in India, during that time there is a problem to the Indian democracy. See, the caste based inequality is a slur to Indian democracy. Due to the caste based inequality, what happens? See, it divides the society, it is dangerous to national integration, the intolerance prevails in the society, it widens the gap between the rich and the poor, and the human rights are affected, and it destroys the social harmony in the society, and also it leads to the identity politics. See what happens in the democracy? It divides the society, it is dangerous for national integration, the intolerance prevails in the society, it widens the gap between rich and poor, the human rights are affected, and it destroys the social harmony, and it leads to a identity politics. So, the government of India is started to think to provide reservation to uplift the people from this evil caste system. The government of India has provided the reservation. So, dear students, the reservation has a justification to the caste based inequality in India. Let me discuss about the reservation system in India. See, dear students, In order to solve the problem of caste system in India and in order to provide justice to the people who are suffered from the times of history, the government of India started to provide reservation. See here, the reservation or the aim of reservation is to establish a egalitarian society. The aim of reservation to provide the egalitarian society. As a result of caste system, the worst hits are the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and the other backward classes. So, the government of India in part 3rd, part 4th and part 16 of the constitution provided some of the provisions for the people who are suffered. This in the part 3rd, part 4th and part 16 of the constitution, the reservation provided in the field of education, employment and the representative bodies. Reservation is provided to the people in employment and also in education and also in representative bodies. Let us study the reservation in education. Reservation in education. That is, the Article 15 of the Indian Constitution explain that no discrimination shall be made on the basis of caste. Article 15 of the Indian Constitution explains no discrimination shall be made on the basis of caste, creed, sex, place of birth, etc., but no discrimination shall be made on the basis of caste. And this Article 15 also provided that a reservation of the seats for scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes in the educational institutions. And as per the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act, 86th Constitutional Amendment Act, this 15% of seats are reserved for SCs and the 3% of seats are reserved for scheduled tribes in educational institutions. See, 15% of seats are reserved for scheduled caste and the 3% of seats are reserved for the scheduled tribe in the educational institutions. This is the reservation in education. And in employment, the reservation in employment. See, Article 16 of the Indian Constitution explains about the equal opportunity in public services, equal opportunities in public services. That is, Article 335 of the Indian Constitution claims the reservation of seats for scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes in the public services, that is both in the central services and also in the state services. And in jobs also 15% of seats must be reserved for, around 15% of jobs must be reserved for SCs and 3% of seats must be reserved for STs. And after the Mandala Commission report of 1980 and it is implemented in 1990. See, it is important. Mandal Commission report implemented in 1990. It is provided the 27% of jobs reservation for the other backward classes, OBCs, other backward classes. And there may be sometimes there may be a question when the Mandal Commission report is implemented in India. The Mandal Commission report implemented in India during 1990 and it is provided 27% of job reservation to the other backward classes. So, this is a reservation in employment for the people who are suffered from the caste system. And the next is that in politics. In politics also reservation is provided. As per the Article 330 of the Indian Constitution, there is a seats are reserved for scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe in the Parliament of India, that is in Lok Sabha and in Rajya Sabha. And as per the Article 332 of the Indian Constitution, the seats are reserved for the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes in state legislative assemblies. And also as per the Article 243D, Article 243D, the seats are reserved for scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes in the rural local self governments in proportion to their population. And as per the Article 243T, the seats are reserved for the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes in urban local self governments. So, in this type, in politics also the reservation is provided. And not only this, the government of India abolished untouchability, that is the Article 17 of the Indian Constitution explains about the abolition of untouchability. See, this is also important. Article 17 of the Indian Constitution explains about the abolition of untouchability. The practice of untouchability is a punishable offence in India. Practice of untouchability is a punishable offence in India. And in order to protect the rights of the weaker sections, the Prevention of Atrocities Act, Prevention of Atrocities Act enacted by the Parliament during 1989 and 1989. It is came into force on 30th January 1990. It is came into force on 30th January 1990. This date is also very important. The Prevention of Atrocities Act, it is implemented on 30th January 1990, and this act is also called as the Dalit Act to protect the interest of the weaker sections. See, not only this, and also for the protection of the disadvantaged classes, there is Scheduled Caste, National Commission for Scheduled Caste, and National Commission for Scheduled Tribe, and National Commission for other backward classes also established in India. So, by this time the government of India tried to establish a egalitarian society and tried to solve the problem of caste system. See, dear students, this much is about the causes for the caste system and how it is a impediment to the democracy and how it is a slur to the democracy, and what are the measures taken by the Indian government to solve this problem of caste system that we are discussed here. Next, we to discuss about the another major discrimination which is practiced in India, that is the gender based inequality. The one is the caste based inequality and another one gender based inequality. Gender based inequality is a discrimination made on the basis of sex. It is a discrimination made on the basis of sex, that is male and female. The male are considered as a superior sex and the female are considered as the inferior sex, as all the privileges and opportunities are provided for the males in the society and the females are denied from all these opportunities. See, dear students, the biological differences are there in between the male and the female and it is natural, but the gender difference it is created by the society, that the society is provided a superior position to the males and the inferior position to the females. This gender based inequality we can see everywhere. It is there in the family, it is there in economy, and also it is there in education, it is there in culture, and also it is there in politics. So, what are the causes for the gender based inequality in India? See, causes for gender based inequality in India. There are many causes are there in India for this gender based inequality. Let me discuss a few important causes for the gender based inequalities in India. The one is that the loss of Manu. Loss of Manu. The Hindu society is followed the laws of Manu. Manu is written the Manu Dharma Shastra. It is strictly followed by Hindu society, and this Manu restricted the woman to within 4 walls, and she must be always within the guardianship of a male member of a family. The women must be always be under the guardianship of the male member of the family. When she was a child, she must be under the guardianship of her father. When she was young, she must be under the guardianship of her husband. And when she was old, she must be under the guardianship of her son. Like this, the woman must be within the 4 walls. So, the loss of Manu is also one of the cause for the gender based discrimination in India. And another one, the male domination. Male domination. In the rural areas or in the Hindu society, we can examine the male domination in the family and also in the society. The male member of the family is considered as a superior, and he is given all the authorities and he is taking all the responsibilities. But the women are not given any responsibilities and their social status is denied. So, there is a male domination is also the one more cause for the gender discrimination in India. And next, the denial of education. Denial of education. From the times of history, the education of the girls is not given importance. The girls' education is not given importance in India, and so due to this the women become incapable in many fields and the men occupied the major jobs. All the major jobs are occupied the men and women become the incapable. So, denial of education is also one more cause for the gender based inequality in India. And next is that the dowry system. Dowry system. Dowry system is one of the evil practiced in India, and due to the dowry system, the boy is considered as a asset to the family and the girl is considered as a liability or a burden to the family. Due to the dowry system, the boy is considered as an asset to the family and the girl is considered as a burden to the family. So, dear students, the dowry system which is practiced in India now also, it is also one of the important cause for gender inequality. And next is that inadequate representation. Inadequate representation. The women are inadequately represented in India. Women are inadequately represented in India as female constitute the 50% of the total population. The female constitute the 50% of the population, but they are inadequately represented in politics. Take an example of the 17 Lok Sabha. In the 17 Lok Sabha also there is only the 78 women, it is only the 14%. Among the 545 members, only 78 women are there, and it clearly shows that there is a inadequate representation is there for the women. So, these are all the causes for the gender based inequality in India. So, dear students, this gender based inequality is also a slur to democracy. Gender based inequality also a slur to democracy. It is against to the basic principle of the democracy. The basic principle of democracy is to establish a egalitarian society, to establish a equal society, but it is against to the basic principle of the democracy, and women become the victims of exploitation. Women become the victims of exploitation. So, in order to bring the women into the mainstream, the government of India started to provide reservation. In order to bring the women to the mainstream, the Constitution of India provided reservation to the women. See, reservation is provided in the field of education and employment and also in representative bodies. Let us see the reservation in the education, employment and the representative bodies. Reservation has a justification for gender based inequality in India. Mainly the reservation is provided in education. One in education. Mainly in 2001, the government of India introduced Sarva Shiksha Abhiyana. In 2001, government of India introduced Sarva Shiksha Abhiyana for the universalization of primary education. For the universalization of primary education. With this, all the peoples are getting education, even girls and boys are getting education with due to this the 2001 Sarva Shiksha Abhiyana. And also the Indian government introduced that is the Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya scheme. The Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya scheme, it is provided 75% of reservation to the girls, mainly who are coming from scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, other backward classes and OBCs. See, the government of India through this Kasturba Balika Vidyalaya scheme provided the 75% reservation to the girls who are coming from scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, other backward classes and minorities, and other 25% seats also reserved for the girls who are coming from the poor or the low income families. And here the Karnataka government is also taken so many measures for the empowerment of the girls education. That is, the Kitturu Rani Chennamma residential schools are established in Karnataka. Kitturu Rani Chennamma residential schools are established in Karnataka, and also the up to degree level the fee concession is provided for the girls, and so many scholarships are provided for the girls, and also free bicycles also provided. Like this, the government of India tried to provide justice to the women by providing reservation in education. In employment, in the state services, the 33% of seats are reserved for women. In state services, the 33% of jobs are reserved for women. And not only this, recently the central government is opened Mahila banks all over India. The central government is opened Mahila banks. And next reservation in representative bodies. Next reservation is in representative bodies, that is the 73rd and the 74th amendment. They are called as the landmark in the political empowerment of the women. The 73rd and the 74th amendment are called as the landmarks in the political empowerment of the women. That is, in the grassroots democracy, Article 243D provided 1/3 of reservation in the Panchayat Raj institutions for the women, and also Article 243T provided the reservation of seats for the women in the urban local self governments. And the Karnataka government and also some states of India are provided the 50% of reservation to the women in the grassroots democracy. So, the reservation is also provided in the representative bodies or in the politics, and these are all the reservations. And not only the reservation, but also some constitutional provisions also provided for the empowerment of women. Let me discuss some constitutional provisions. Constitutional provisions for women. To remove inequality on the basis of the gender, the Constitution of India made many provisions. The Constitution of India made many provisions, that is, the Article 15 of Indian Constitution prohibits the discrimination on the basis of sex. Article 15 of the Indian Constitution prohibits the discrimination on the basis of sex, and Article 16 of the Indian Constitution explains about the equal opportunity in the public services. For the women also, equal opportunity in the public services. And Article 23 and Article 24 of Indian Constitution explains about the right against exploitation. Right against exploitation. And the Article 39D, Article 39D, that is provided equal pay for equal work. Article 39D explains about the equal pay for equal work. And Article 51A, Article 51A clause C explains about the protection of dignity of women, protection of dignity of a woman. And Article 236 explains about the voting right to the women. Article 236 explains about the voting right to women. So, these are all some of the constitutional provisions provided by the Government of India for the empowerment of the girls' education. Not only this, there are National Commission for Women is established in India in January 1992. And there are many state commissions are also established in many states of India to protect the rights of the women. See, in this time the Constitution of India or the Government of India tried to solve the problem of the gender inequality in India. See, dear students, this much is about the caste and gender based inequalities in India, and what are the measures that taken by the Government of India to solve this problem of the caste and gender based inequality in India. So, I hope you all understand the concept. And from this chapter, the 5 marks question, why inequality is a slur to Indian democracy? And another one, explain the causes of the caste based inequality in India, and describe the causes of the gender based inequality in India, and explain the remedial measures to remove caste based inequality. Explain the remedial measure to remove the gender based inequality in India. And sometimes there may be a 10 marks question from this chapter, that is the how is inequality a slur to Indian democracy? How is inequality is a slur to Indian democracy? Explain. Okay dear students, this much is about this concept, one important challenge to the Indian democracy, that is the inequality has a threat to Indian democracy. Thank you.